Okay, let me let Sassy out because she's now I've got to. I don't know why she's got it.
Oh, it's a painting?
A cat in a box.
Yeah, but that looks so real.
Nicole.
Yeah.
Remember when you got me that payment from Moonlight? I never did get her PayPal because you had it directly done for me.
Oh my goodness, I'll send it to you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you. Moonlight, I got you, girl. I got
Thank
you.
you.
Ladies.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, have a good night.
Just a cat in a box. No, talking to the live chat. We're live. How you all?
Hey. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, for us, but for Gail, it's
5:26 p.m. here, getting ready to go out to tea.
And you're in the future.
Going out to tea.
Because tomorrow there.
You have to stay with us.
Go out to tea and bring us. Come on, just bring us.
Hi, Tammy. Hi, Linda. Hi,
Hi,
Hart. Hi, Liza. Hi, Ellen W. Hi, Sean Sneed. Hi, Roberty Bob.
You have to say it.
Hi, Sean M.
Roberty Bob. Is Carolyn here?
Carolyn's just taking Sassy out for a little walk.
Oh, okay. That's where she went. All right. I was like, oh, what's she here?
Yeah, feel free to entertain.
Feel free to
But not in that way.
I didn't mean to start. I just started singing because I forgot I was live.
That's off limits.
Oh my goodness. You see what happens?
Oh, you could be singing in the rain here today, Nicole.
Is it raining? Oh.
Just stopped. The pets have gone out for a little walk as well. So it's just stopped for a little while.
Nicole, does this match that set I just got from you?
Let me take a look. Hold on a minute. No, I don't think. No, but it will. Does it match it? Yeah, it does match it, but it's not the same set, but it matches it because they're chicken.
Yeah, my son got me that. I think it's so cute, but I thought it matched maybe.
It does match. It's not from the exact same set, but it is because look at the picture.
Yeah, it has the house and then the trees.
Oh my God, it does? Wait a minute. You got to bring it closer, Binks, because it's so hard to see the other way. Lift it up a little. Oh my Kay. Oh, whoa. Does it say anything on the bottom of that?
It says made in Italy for Vitra.
Vitra. I don't think the ones you got say anything. Let me double check.
I didn't see it. Can I please see it?
We're headed off to a real nice Aussie barbecue, which is going to be good. Haven't had one of them for a long time.
Oh, I'm coming with you.
Yeah. I'll bring back leftovers for supper, Linda.
Take us with you. It's going at the barbecue. Oh, it's a chicken picture. I see it now.
Yeah.
It's so on the ones you just bought, there's nothing on the bottom, but the picture does look similar. I wonder.
It has the birds on it and the trees.
Oh my goodness! I wonder if it's the same set. I don't know. That's why.
Stripes on the handle. I think it will go good.
I do too. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Won't be long, everybody.
Alex Jones, anybody?
There was.
Yeah.
Since we're on the True
I'm not
Crime
going to be
Line.
long. I'm good. I had to just.
Cool.
I'm not long. I just had to take Sassy out. Yeah. I'm back. Okay.
I'm making a chocolate.
Clients to take care of. Okay, we're good. Oh, let's see what I don't know what Jimmy did here with this. Okay. All right, where's my camera? All right, let's see what we can do here. Let's pull that through. All right. Seems like this is not. Let me go back to the thing. So I was out most of the day and running around. I don't know why I look so quiet. It's crazy. It's a nutty day. But I heard, who told me? Somebody told me. Oh, Sharon told me about Alex Jones when I was somewhere, right? Yeah, the landmark case there. And $1 billion. So that's a real landmark. Now, of course, we already know, he already said, well, you're not going to get anything from me. I'm broke now. Of course, he's broke now, right? Okay, he's broke now. This is a guy that's made almost $1 million in one day by scaring people about something and then offering them a supplement that he said would take care of whatever that was, radiation poison. Like, oh, hurry up, the government is poisoning you with radiation. Here, buy this little bottle of iodine. And then all these texts from his staff that, oh, wow, it's, we made $900,000 today in the iodine. So he told people that, the government was doing all this stuff to us, taking away our estrogen, testosterone, and then selling this stuff when the virus pandemic hit. Of course, he had the only antibacterial stuff that would save you, So that's how he made a lot of his money. But the worst thing that he did was that he was tormenting parents from Newtown, where their children had been murdered. He said it was a hoax. Didn't happen. They were crisis actors. And this also goes to Alex Belfield. So what's free speech? And is this free speech? No, it's not. And it doesn't have to be 10,000 emails. These parents didn't get 10,000 emails. What he did was enough, over and over and over on a channel about the same thing. So it's another great victory for people that have been harassed all over. Okay, now they're bothering Sassy. Hold on a minute. Boy, I'll be right back. I had a lot of irons in the fire running this pet sitting business, and now everything's good. Sassy's in her own room. Okay, so yeah, it was. It would be good if I could see the chat. Yeah, that would be good. I don't even know where this month's video. So yeah, I mean, it's a victory with this and Alex Belfield. Huge victory. Of course he's going to appeal. Of course he's going to say he has no money to pay anyone. But still, he can't get away with this. He can't. And nobody else will either. It's all coming to an end. Thank goodness, because it's been far too long for anyone that's been harassed by people, especially crime victims' families. And I have good news about Bianca's law. I spoke to Kim Devins. Everything passed unanimously, and they're just waiting for the governor to sign it into law. So that's a huge victory as well. I'm looking at what Sharon's putting. Okay, so good. Now let me just go and get to the chat. Sorry, a little discombobulated today. Sorry. But someone had said they found that little toddler. I don't see that. I see that the toddler is presumed deceased, and the mother's the prime suspect. Not that they found the body. So I don't know if we're going to look into that a little more right now. Okay. So let's take a look at Alex Jones first. On Wednesday, the Connecticut jury ordered InfoWars host Alex Jones to pay a total of $965 million. So we rounded it up to $1 billion, right? To the families of 8 people killed in the 2012 shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary. And it's also to an FBI agent that was very affected by everything. And then he was called out, said that he wasn't an FBI, agent. It's the same kind of mockery and defamation that they do. Jones defaulted on the defamation trial because he reportedly failed to provide the court with business records. Judge Barbara Bellis subsequently concluded that Jones's claims that the mass shooting was a hoax were defamatory and led to an ongoing harassment targeting the victim's family. And we all know in 2012, Adam Lanza killed his mother before entering Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. He shot 20 children and 6 adults and then killed himself. Over the years, the victims' families have faced unfounded accusations, and they were fanned by Alex Jones and his cohorts that they faked their children's deaths. Specifically, Jones said on his platform that the 2012 mass shooting was a false flag operation that was committed by crisis actors. And then he said, oh, look at this actor. They're there, and they're in the Boston Marathon, a mass tragedy, and they're here in this tragedy and that tragedy. And how come the same person is there? He did all this crazy stuff with the help of people that helped his channel, and that even viewers that came on and then ended up calling in and continuing some of these crazy conspiracies. At some points, the victims' families had to prove that their murdered children even existed. In addition to the families of 8 shooting victims, the FBI agent was also awarded a default judgment on Wednesday. So here's what happened here. Here's the breakdown. Robert Parker, father of 6-year-old Emily Parker, received $120,000. William Sherlock, husband of a 56-year-old school employee, Mary Sherlock, got $36,000. David Wheeler, the father of 6-year-old Ben Wheeler, got $55,000. Francine Wheeler, the mother of 6-year-old Ben Wheeler, got $54,000. Jacqueline Barden, mother of 7-year-old Daniel Barden, got $28,800. Mark Barden, father of 7-year-old Daniel Barden, got $56,600. Nicole Hockley, the mother of 6-year-old Dylan Hockley, got $73,600. Ian Hockley, the father of 6-year-old Dylan Hockley, got $81,600. Jennifer Hensel, for the estate of Jeremy Richmond, who died by suicide, father of 6-year-old Avielle Richmond, got $52,000. Donna Soto, mother of teacher Victoria Soto, $48,000. Carly Soto Parisi, sister of the teacher Victoria Soto, got $66,000. Carlos Matthew Soto, the brother of the teacher Victoria Soto, got $57,600. Jillian Soto Marino, sister of the teacher Victoria Soto, got $68,800. William Aldenberg, the FBI agent and first responders, got $90,000. Eric Lafferty, trustee Richard M. Cohn, daughter of school principal Dawn Hochsprung, got $76,000. In August, a Texas jury awarded that Jones pay roughly $49 million to the parents of 6-year-old Sandy Hook shooting victim Jesse Lewis. A third lawsuit filed by Sandy Hook family is pending. So What's his big reaction? Let's see, because the lawyer's saying how he's going to pay. Okay. Okay, he denounces the verdict. Of course he does. Alex Jones, as he was being ordered by a jury in Connecticut to pay nearly $1 billion in damages to the families of 8 Sandy Hook victims and an FBI agent that he accused of being actors, he scoffed live on his show. And I quote, "Do these people actually think they're getting any money?" Broadcasting in tandem on Wednesday with the court hearing, which he did not attend, Mr. Jones called the $65 million judgment against him a joke. He then tried to convince his audience to send him money. Mr. Jones, a fabulist who was ruled liable for defamation over his lies about the 2012 massacre being a hoax, told viewers that the Democratic establishment was out to get him and that your pennies counter their millions. The top headline on his website, which was covered in ads for the diet supplements he hawks, was about the verdict and linked to an appeal to buy his book. He planned to hold an emergency broadcast for more than 16 hours to save InfoWars, he said, urging people to flood us with donations. For hundreds of thousands of dollars, I can keep them in court for years and I can appeal this stuff, he said. Mr. Jones repeated the contested claim that he and his company, the InfoWars parent Free Speech Systems, were almost completely out of money and that the plaintiffs can't get blood from a stone. He has placed Free Speech Systems into bankruptcy, which the Sandy Hook victims' families have challenged in court as an attempt by Mr. Jones to avoid paying damages. During the trial, Mr. Jones said he needed $80,000 for security to travel to Connecticut to testify. He arrived in Waterbury on a private jet, and he stayed with an entourage in a rented villa with a pool and a tennis court. During an earlier damages trial in Texas, a financial expert testified in August that Mr. Jones and Free Speech Systems were worth somewhere between $135 million to $270 million. Mr. Jones, who has conceded that the massacre was 100% real, returned on Wednesday to casting doubt on other school shootings, while also voicing other false narratives. The verdict, he said, was an attempt to scare us away from questioning Uvalde and what really happened there, or Parkland, or any other event. He continued, "We're not going away, and we're not going to stop." Let's see what else. How's that here? The Sandy Hook families leveraged personal stories, social media analysis, and the InfoWars' fabulous lack of contrition to secure a major verdict. The families of 8 Sandy Hook shooting victims on Wednesday won nearly $1 billion in damages from the InfoWars fabulist Alex Jones, which was a devastating blow against his empire and a message from the jury that his lies and those of his followers have crippling consequences. The families and their lawyers sat in stunned silence as the court clerk read off one by one the sums awarded to each of the 15 plaintiffs in the case. After court was adjourned, they hugged each other and quietly wept. The largest award went to Robbie Parker, who received $120 million. For years on his InfoWars show and website, Mr. Jones singled out Mr. Parker, whose daughter Emily died at Sandy Hook, as an actor who televised a tribute to Emily a day after her death was disgusting. Mr. Parker, who had to endure online abuse, harassment, and death threats since, formed the centerpiece of the Connecticut case. Each day in that courtroom, we got up on that stand and we told the truth, he said. Telling the truth shouldn't be so hard and it shouldn't be so scary. Mr. Parker added in a nod to Mr. Jones's followers, for anybody that still chooses to listen to that man, just ask yourself, what has he ever given you? In all likelihood, Mr. Jones does not have the money to pay Wednesday's award. In August, a forensic economist estimated that Mr. Jones' empire was worth a maximum of $270 million. But that same month, Mr. Jones put his parent company, free speech systems into bankruptcy. He claims that he has a debt of $54 million owed to a company he controls. But Mr. Jones' annual revenues have topped $50 million in recent years from hawking diet supplements, survivalist gear, and gun paraphernalia on his broadcasts. He has also used the Connecticut trial as well as a trial this past summer in Texas in which he was ordered to pay 2 Sandy Hook parents about $50 million to solicit donations to his legal fund and boost his product sales. The Sandy Hook families have challenged the bankruptcy in court, saying the filing is an effort to avoid paying what are mounting damage awards. Mr. Jones, unrepentant, live streamed the jury's verdict on Wednesday on his InfoWars show. They covered up what really happened, and now I'm the devil, he said. I'm actually proud to be under this level of attack. Wednesday's award was divided up among the 15 plaintiffs in the Connecticut case, which included parents, siblings, children, and spouses of 8 victims, and an FBI agent who was implicated in their bogus theories, which falsely claimed that the families were actors in a government plot to enact gun control and that the massacre never even happened. After 2 weeks of testimony in the Connecticut trial, the families showed how Mr. Jones ignored years of pleas and demands that he stop airing Sandy Hook falsehoods because they boosted InfoWars product sales. In court, the witnesses shared retching stories of harassment by conspiracy theorists who believe Mr. Jones' lies, including death and rape threats, confrontations, and messages threatening to defile and dig up the victims' graves. The jury also heard Mr. Jones' explosive and evasive testimony and saw data demonstrating the theories' extensive online reach. Until he joined the lawsuit in late 2018, Mr. Parker had remained silent about the abuse his family had received from people who believed Mr. Jones's lies, out of fears of encouraging them. The night after the shooting, Mr. Parker agreed to meet what he thought would be one reporter to deliver a statement about his daughter. Confronted instead with a sea of cameras, he gave a short, shocked laugh that Mr. Jones replayed for years, mocking Mr. Parker and igniting a torrent of death threats and abuse from conspiracy theorists who believed that he was acting. And this is Robbie Parker, and it was like very silly because he said something like, read the card, and it was about a card that his daughter made, and they were saying that it was like, read the card, read the cue cards. And they just replayed that over and over again to build this false narrative. Robbie Parker and Emily's mother, Alyssa Parker, both testified in the trial. Mrs. Parker described a full-on assault by hoaxers and her terror that they would disrupt Emily's funeral. Mr. Parker found Mrs. Parker cowering in a closet before the funeral service. During his testimony, Mr. Parker described an episode that occurred in 2016 in which he was accosted in Seattle, 4 years and thousands of miles away from the massacre, by a man who launched a profanity-laced tirade against Mr. Parker, how much money he had made from the government for faking his daughter's death at Sandy Hook. In mid-2018, the families of 10 victims filed 4 separate defamation lawsuits against Alex Jones, later combined into 3. Beyond stopping Mr. Jones, the family said the lawsuits aimed to draw attention to an explosion of harmful disinformation and false narratives that were spread by people with powerful social media platforms who were seldom held to account. Absolutely. Once an obscure conspiracy broadcaster in Austin, Texas, Mr. Jones once garnered national attention in the aftermath of Sandy Hook, where his explosive defense of the Second Amendment brought him mainstream media coverage. His staunch support for former President Donald Trump, who appeared on Mr. Jones's show, while a Republican candidate for president, ushered Mr. Jones from an extremist fringe to the center of the Trump-era Republican politics. He had also had a role in spreading virtually every incendiary lie to dominate headlines over the past decade, including Pizzagate, the false claim that the Democrats trafficked children from a Washington pizzeria, the Great Replacement theory that ignited deadly neo-Nazi violence in Charlottesville, Virginia, the vaccine lies, and the 2020 presidential election falsehoods that brought a violent mob to the Capitol on January 6, 2021. Today, nearly 1/5 of Americans believe high-profile mass shootings have been staged, usually by the government. Mr. Jones is now under scrutiny by the Justice Department and the House January 6 committee for his role in planning events adjacent to the January 6 Capitol insurrection, which he broadcast live. Mr. Jones for years refused to supply analytical data, business records, or testimony ordered by the courts in the lawsuits which were filed in Texas, where InfoWars is based, and the current one in Connecticut. Late last year, in both states, ruled him liable by default, granting the families a sweeping victory that set current damage trials in motion. Just to get a trial in front of a jury is a huge accomplishment, given the extreme measures Alex Jones has taken to try to avoid that, says Eleanor Sterling, a lawyer on the family's legal team. His attack on these families has been a dehumanizing attack, and one of the ways to restore a sense of balance and community and humanity is to try this case in front of a jury. A third and final damages trial in a defamation case brought by Lenny Posner and Veronica De La Rosa, whose son Noah Posner was killed at Sandy Hook, is tentatively scheduled for late this year, but the date has not been set. Mr. Jones began denying Sandy Hook and targeting the families hours after the shooting, but his falsehoods did not garner widespread scrutiny until the lawsuits were filed. So, let's see. In the Connecticut trial, lawyers for the family used forensic analysis of web traffic, and they showed that, the more he talked about it, the greater his numbers were, the greater his income was, and that he was using it to skyrocket to success whenever he talked about Sandy Hook. He flew with his entourage to the trial. He stayed in, a villa with a pool and a tennis court. And he falsely claimed that the deep state effort was to silence him. He forfeited his ability to claim First Amendment protection for his lies or to put on any other defense by failing to provide court-ordered records and testimony during discovery. The judge barred Mr. Jones or his lawyer for speaking out about politics or his finances in court. In the earlier trial in Austin, Mr. Jones was admonished by the judge for falsely claiming he was bankrupt. His single day of testimony in Connecticut was explosive, as he drew frowns from some of the jurors by loudly proclaiming his lack of contrition. Norm Pattis, the same lawyer that represented Fotis Dulos, was repeatedly admonished by the judge during the litigation for mishandling the family's personal information and testimony, interjecting politics into the proceedings. During the trial, Mr. Pattis suggested the families were exaggerating the harm that was done to them by Mr. Jones. During his time on the stand, Mr. Jones viewed Mr. Parker's full news conference, watching a video of Mr. Parker reminiscing about his daughter's art skills, her empathy as a sister and a friend, and the Parker's family's compassion for the family of the gunman. Robbie Parker, sitting right here, Christopher Maddie, a lawyer for the families, told Mr. Jones, he's real, isn't he? And for years, you put a target on his back, didn't you? Just like you did every single parent and loved one sitting here. Is this a struggle session? Are we in China? Mr. Jones said. A comment echoed by Mr. Pattis as the families in the gallery wept. I've already said I'm sorry, and I'm done saying I'm sorry, Mr. Jones said. So let's see. So, yeah, that's pretty... a person like him is never going to admit anything, any wrongdoing. He's just not. So let's look about this toddler now. Poor toddler. Quentin Simon. The Chatham County Police Department said Wednesday that canines were deployed in the search for the missing toddler, Quentin Simon, who hasn't been seen in 7 days. 1-year-old Quentin was reported missing on October 5th by his mother, Leilani Simon, who said her boyfriend had seen him around 6 a.m. in the family's Savannah home, but later when she woke up, he was gone. She made the 911 call shortly after 9:30 a.m., and she told the dispatcher that she found the door open, although Quentin isn't able to open the door. She thinks somebody came in and took him, the dispatcher said to officers. Police launched an extensive search of the area, calling in help from other nearby jurisdictions as well as the FBI. On Wednesday morning, Chatham police tweeted that the canines would be deployed in the search while investigators work on analyzing evidence. We will spend today gathering and analyzing evidence, Chatham police said. We expect to schedule a media briefing tomorrow. And then, let's see, went to. Police announced Wednesday night that they believe the missing toddler, Quentin Simon, is deceased, and his mother is the prime suspect in his death. And a quote, "We are saddened to report that CCPD and the FBI have notified Quentin Simon's family that we believe he is deceased, and we have named his mother, Leilani Simon, as the prime suspect in the disappearance and in his disappearance and death. But no arrests have been made and no charges have been filed," Chatham County Police Department said on social media. Chief Hadley will hold a media briefing tomorrow, time to be determined, to give more details and answer questions. We will not be making any further statements or answering any questions at this time. We know that thousands of people around the world will be heartbroken by this news, and we share in your sorrow. And it is heartbreaking, and prayers to the family, the poor grandmother, and siblings, everybody. It's horrible. Prayers. Now, the thing is, what was I just going to say about this? About the briefing tomorrow? Oh, it's probably going to be that they have evidence on something they collected either on a computer, on a phone, pictures, or blood evidence that's been found that would show that he wouldn't have survived, or they found text messages. Who knows what they found, but they'll announce it tomorrow. Very sad. Horrible. Now back to Idaho. All these people killing their parents. This is the third one in a week's time. A 26-year-old Idaho man has been charged with the death of his mother, who was a beloved director of the West Valley Humane Society in Caldwell. Levi Isaac Davis was arrested after Carly Cantrell's husband found her dead at their home Monday afternoon. The Canyon County Prosecutor's Office said that Carly was stabbed in the neck and the abdomen and described the killing as truly horrific. An affidavit filed in the case said she had chunks of her hair and skin missing. Son Levi Davis was arraigned on Tuesday and ordered held on $5 million bail. According to the affidavit, Cantrell and her husband, Kevin Klein, evicted the son from their home recently for poor behavior. Klein said that he left home at about 6:30 a.m. Cantrell's two teenage sons said they saw their mother just after 7:30 a.m. when they left for school. Shortly afterwards, the 15-year-old texted that he forgot a school project, and his mother responded that she'd drop it off. He texted again at 9 a.m., but the message was not delivered. The 17-year-old boy said he texted her about 2:30 p.m. She didn't respond. A neighbor reported seeing a blue hatchback car in the driveway just before 8 a.m., and then it was gone an hour later. Police said that Davis drives a blue 2008 Chevy Aveo. A man who knows the son Davis told police that he showed up at his house around 9 a.m. Monday with what appeared to be blood on his pants, and he asked to use the shower. Davis told him that he stabbed himself, but the man sent him away. Police later learned that the blue Aveo near a halfway house where Davis was living, and they saw a pair of waffle-soled shoes and white pants with red stains that were in plain view in the back seat. Davis was taken into custody just after 11 p.m. with a deep laceration on his thigh, a long scratch on one hand, and what would look like a circular burn mark on his bicep. He told investigators he woke up at 10:30 a.m. Monday morning and no one had used his car. Levi Davis showed no emotion when talking about the death of his mother. The West Valley Humane Society was in shock at the director's death and issued this. She was a director's director, Tammy Dittenburg, president of the board, said in a phone interview with the Idaho Statesman, "She was the best possible thing you could ever want in an executive director for a shelter like we have, and her legacy will be in that place for a long time to come." Cantrell began her career at the shelter in animal care and worked her way up to leadership position. Davis is set to appear in court on October 19th. Okay. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. All right, so let's see what else we have. So, all right, so here's some more on Simon about some stuff with the mother ordered to pay child support. Let's put this here. Court documents show that Leilani Simon, the mother of the 20-month-old boy who disappeared last week and is presumed dead by investigators, was ordered to pay child support for the child and his older brother on September 28th, a week before he disappeared. Now, Leilani's mother, the grandmother of Quentin, Billy Joe Howell, had sole custody of Quentin and his brother, Zane Wharton. The order called for Simon to pay $150 a month towards their care beginning on November 1st. The grandmother began an eviction process against her daughter and the daughter's boyfriend earlier in September. Records obtained showed that Howell was claiming Simon and the boyfriend failed to pay rent and they refused to leave at the end of the lease. Not looking to be compensated, Howell wrote in the court documents, "Just want to move out as quickly as possible. They have damaged my property, and at this point, no one is living in peace." The day before the grandmother filed for eviction is when Leilani called police after a reported domestic incident involving her mother, but she declined to press charges. Howell told officers she may have to evict her daughter and her boyfriend. Let's see. Leilani then reported Quentin missing shortly after 9:30 a.m. last Wednesday. Her boyfriend was said to be the last person who saw him at about 6 a.m. The boy's babysitter, Diana McCarter, said that she was told shortly after 6 that morning that she wouldn't be needed that day, and then got a text later asking if she saw the boy. The grandmother reportedly got into a screaming match with McCarter this week and was caught on video accusing her of taking the boy. On Tuesday, the Chatham County Police Department posted that it had seized evidence that we believe will help this case move forward, and they were analyzing the evidence to see where it leads them. And then police brought in a team of search dogs to the area near the home in the unincorporated Chatham County, just outside of Savannah. Police Chief Jeff Hadley did not speak with the reporters again on Wednesday, but the department posted Wednesday morning that they would be spending the day gathering evidence and analyzing it, and planning to schedule a press conference on Thursday. Okay, and then this other guy here. The son of a Texas couple who was found fatally shot in their home on Thursday was arrested for allegedly stealing his parents' car from the scene. Samuel Scarlett, 28 years old, is considered a person of interest in the murders of his father and mother, Mike and Kay Scarlett, 66 and 68, at their Joshua home. The Joshua County Sheriff's Office said the couple was dead for as long as 3 days before their family requested welfare checks. The murdered couple's son was arrested at Texas Health Hughley Hospital, where their truck was parked in the parking lot. He is charged with unauthorized use of a vehicle, but not his parents' murders. Police believe Samuel drove his parents' car from their home, and he remains in jail on a $100,000 bond. Let's see. Florida grandfather has been charged with child neglect after he returned a rental car to Daytona Beach International Airport and he forgot his toddler granddaughter was in the back seat. Hertz employees found the little girl in the locked vehicle in the car return lot where she had been for about 45 minutes on Monday. Deputies arrived at the lot about 6 p.m. and they found the child with a worn face that was streaked with dried tears, but she was breathing normally. Employees say that the vehicle had been dropped off at about 5:15 p.m. Deputies and staff were initially unable to make contact with the driver, but later the child's mother called and said she just learned that her 62-year-old father had left the little girl, who was almost 2 years old, in the car. She said she was on her way to the airport. The Volusia County Sheriff's Office said that David Towner had been babysitting the little girl on Monday and left her in the back seat when he brought the car to the airport. Deputies say he was remorseful and cooperative. The sheriff's office said the temperature in the unshaded parking lot was 80 degrees when the little girl was left in the car. Deputies returned the child to her mother and notified Department of Children and Family Services about the incident. Sheriff Mike Chitwood said that he planned to issue citizens awards to the Hertz employees who found the toddler. Towner was ordered held on a $2,500 bond, but it wasn't clear if he had bonded out by Wednesday. Oh my gosh. This is horrific. California police say a man was killed on Tuesday after he was pulled into a wood chipper. A tree trimmer who has not been publicly identified was reportedly working in Menlo Park when he fell into the wood chipper. San Mateo police, who responded to the scene, found the man deceased. Authorities have not concluded how the tree trimmer fell into the wood chipper. The San Mateo County Coroner's Office has not named the decedent, as they are in the process of notifying his next of kin. The state's Division of Occupational Safety and Health, or OSHA, has 6 months to investigate the incident and levy any citations for safety violations. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. Willie Spence, known for being a runner-up during the 19th season of American Idol, died in a car crash Tuesday. Spence died shortly after a Marion County crash on Tuesday afternoon. The incident happened at around 4 p.m. off of I-24 east, close to Chattanooga, said the Marion County Sheriff. Spence was reportedly driving a Jeep Cherokee and went off-road. That's when he crashed into another vehicle that had come to a stop on the shoulder of the road. The driver of the vehicle, identified as Raymond Kressel, 68, wasn't injured. There was a video that Spence posted on social media hours before the crash. The singer belted out, "You are my hiding place," while in his vehicle. Spence was scheduled to perform live in London on November 12th at the Trinity Baptist Church. He was to headline with several stars from The Voice UK, including Emmanuel Smith, Kieran Daniel, Lois Moody, and Loxton Mitchell. He was also scheduled to perform during London Band Week in 2023. He was 23 years old. Oh, that's sad. Horrible. Okay, San Antonio, Texas this time. A fired San Antonio police officer has been charged with assault after he opened fire on a teenager eating a burger inside his car in a McDonald's parking lot. Eric Cantu, 17, is 17 and he's hospitalized unconscious and on life support after he was shot multiple times. San Antonio Police Chief William McManus said, "If he doesn't make it, the charges will change," McManus said. Then police officer James Brennand, a rookie, responded to an unrelated disturbance call at the fast food restaurant just before 11 p.m. on October 2nd. He saw Cantu's car, which he believed had evaded him a day earlier when he attempted a traffic stop. Brennan called for backup, but instead of waiting for backup, he abruptly opened the car door and ordered the teen out. Cantu put the car in reverse and tried to back up, but Brennan opened fire into the vehicle, continuing to fire as Cantu pulled away. Cantu and his passenger were found about a block away. Brennan, who had been with the force for 7 months and was still on probationary period, was fired 2 days later. Police issued a warrant for Brennan's arrest on 2 counts of aggravated assault by a public servant. A 17-year-old girl was also inside Cantu's car but not injured, and he turned himself in on Tuesday. The Bexar County jail records show that he was released on a $200,000 bond Wednesday morning. The shooting itself was unjustified, administratively and criminally, McManus said during a briefing on Tuesday night. Before the charges were filed, McManus said that it was pretty clear that there were problems with the shooting from the start. "We have a policy that prohibits officers from shooting at vehicles, moving vehicles, except that their life is an immediate danger. Their life or someone else's life is an immediate danger," he said. Cantu's vehicle, he said, was moving parallel with the officer or away from him when the shots were fired. Wow. Hold on a minute. The remains of a Chicago landlord were found in a boarding house freezer on Tuesday, and one of her tenants was arrested. The identities of the victim and the suspect have not been released, but police say they began their investigation when another tenant reported not seeing the 55-year-old landlord for a time. The suspect lived in the residence, said Chief of Detectives Brendan Denahan. The other tenants were afraid. The suspect had recently called a tow truck and carried a heavy bag out to the tow truck. Investigators say the tow truck driver told them that he took the suspect to Foster Beach, where officials said they found bloody rags and more remains inside a garbage can. The tow truck driver told them the suspect had pulled a knife on him. Neighbors said the landlord was very friendly and always welcomed new neighbors. So they got the guy that killed 5 in Georgia. The suspect in the shooting deaths of 5 people in a South Carolina home on Sunday was arrested early Monday in Georgia. Investigators found 4 people dead at the In Mann home, early Sunday evening, a fifth person was taken to the hospital where he died from his injuries. All of the victims were adults, and they were unrelated. James Douglas Drayton reportedly robbed a convenience store in Burke County, Georgia, early Monday morning, the Burke County Sheriff's Office said, but deputies spotted him and gave chase. Drayton crashed his car, took off running, leading detectives on a lengthy foot chase before he was captured. Spartanburg County Sheriff Chuck Wright said that Drayton confessed to robbery and the murders and gave specific details about the victims. Drayton had been living at the house, which Wright described as a safe haven for people doing drugs, for about 2 weeks at the time of the incident. Wright noticed, however, that the 5 men who were killed in Spartanburg County were victims first and foremost. God still loves us even if we make dumb choices, Wright said. Those men have been identified as Thomas Anderson, Adam Morley, Thomas Anderson 37, Adam Morley 32, Mark Hewitt 59, James Derek Baldwin 49, and Roman Christian Miguel Rocha 19. Drayton faces multiple charges in Georgia where he's being held in the Burke County Jail. He faces murder and possession of a weapon while committing a violent crime in South Carolina. It's unknown when he will be returned to Spartanburg County. Florida bodybuilder is accused of killing his ex-wife, taking her wedding band and engagement ring, and then burning her body and hiding the remains on his 5-acre property. Ian Banach, 43, has been charged with premeditated murder, destruction of physical evidence, use of a two-way communication device to facilitate a felony, cremating a dead body 48 hours after death, and failure to report a death. A search warrant at Banach's home also uncovered unprescribed steroids and unregistered firearm silencers. He was charged with 12 counts of possession of controlled substances without a prescription and a federal charge of possessing the silencers. The case began on September 29th when Katie Banach dropped off her 2 children at a friend's house, saying her ex-husband told her she could come over and pick up belongings from his house. When she hadn't returned by the next day, the friend contacted police. The Hendry County Sheriff's Office sent a patrol car to Ian Banach's home where they saw Katie Banach's vehicle parked in the driveway with her purse inside. According to the federal complaint filed in the firearms case, the deputy was unable to make contact with anyone inside and left. He left 45 minutes later to find the missing woman's car out of the driveway and parked on the street. Deputies they secured a search warrant for the house and returned. While executing that search, they discovered evidence that a homicide occurred there, but they found no sign of Katie. They applied for a second search warrant to include Banach's 5 acres, but when they returned, Banach tried to keep them out. During the second search, they sprayed luminol into the trunk of Banach's car and hallway. They found blood and found broken household items to indicate that there was a struggle in the hallway. In a safe inside Banach's office, they found Katie's wedding ring and engagement ring and the illegal silencers. Multiple weapons were also found on the premises. Deputies interviewed Banach the following day, and when he denied any knowledge of what happened to his ex-wife. He said she came over, they argued, and he went to bed to avoid escalating. When he woke up, she was gone. He admitted moving her vehicle. When investigators told him about the blood, he said that the blood in his car was from groceries, and he accused the detectives of lying about the blood in the house. He also told the investigators they did not have a body and said Katie probably wasn't even missing. He admitted having the silencers, but denied they were silencers. Later that day, deputies found a fragment of a human mandible with an intact tooth in a burn pile and a blue 50-gallon drum nearby that reeked of decaying flesh. Inside the drum, they found another partial human bone, along with other suspected human bones around the burn pile. The medical examiner determined the remains did belong to Katie Banach and arrested her ex-husband on Monday, and he's being held without bond. All right, that's about it. And let me see if any of my friends are here. Friends. Okay. All right. Let's get into the chat. There's the chat. So, what do you guys think? What do you think in the chat about everything? Hi, WD. You know what I'm thinking of? Hi, Deborah. I'm thinking that I'm going to start a new Zoom. I'm thinking that I'm going to go into a movie night.
Yeah, it's time to wreck. It's
And I think I'm going to go sit in my massage chair and watch said movie.
good. Sounds about good to me. I need
Oh,
to
look who's here.
Ooh, Scooter, yeah, she showed up.
She showed up?
working.
Did
Yeah,
she
she's working.
did
She's
she
all
did
over
she
it.
do her agreed upon 10 minutes?
Well, yeah, she's cool. I mean, she's cool. She's around.
Because that bot is out of control.
What's out of control?
That bot. The scooter
Bot.
robot.
Well, what do you mean the scooter robot?
She's out of control. She's skipping beats. Her memory tracks are gone.
Oh, the scooter robot. Okay.
Yeah, she's
Hi,
like,
Scooter.
the voice is all mechanical.
She's having a good night. She's just relaxing, and it's a good night to relax. I
Yeah,
think.
I'm looking to relax. I've had like just a abundant full day of everything, and I've got another one tomorrow. So
Over.
yeah,
You have to.
so-
What do you have to do tomorrow now?
more stuff. More. I'll
What?
fill you in on it later.
I'm gonna have to do stuff.
Yeah. All right.
Oh.
So I was here tonight. I don't know. Okay. I don't know about that scooter. I really don't. Hi, Rubbity Bub. Hi, Liza. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new Zoom because we're probably running on empty on this one, right?
Yes, definitely. It was 12 a.m. yesterday. It's-
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to start the new Zoom. And should I put it on the community tab for the people that are trolls so they don't come
Yeah.
in? Who cares? Because we don't let you in anyway. You can just
Well, they-
go post our number. Have fun.
Well, I mean, if
We
they're a
don't care.
member, but technically, if they watch the movie and they're good, right?
Well,
If
no,
they're-
we're not having them in here, but it's okay.
Well, we-
They're not even coming. The members are just giving it to them. They're the members that got it free, and they think that they were in here. We know everybody that's in here because you have to pass a screening. Okay.
There's a triple inspection problem.
Yeah. You think we just let anybody in here? My gosh.
Because it can get crazy. Who knows what you'll show?
Oh my
like, I
gosh.
don't wanna
No, we do
Yeah.
screenings.
We don't want to see that.
Yeah.
It was an issue once, and the microman came to town, and we don't want anybody like that to come
Right.
to town
micro
again.
machines. Okay. Let me
Oh,
start a new
okay.
one here. I'm going to start a new one.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the new Zoom review. It's coming straight for you. Anyway. So, let's see. If you're still there. To show you we're not scared of you. I'll post another member's post. I really don't care. Because we control this Zoom, not you. You're not the boss of us. You're not the boss of us now. Okay. I will post it first as a member's post. And I'll even make a little funny thing. Members post. Okay. I did that. I'm going to put it in Slack. I'm going to put it on Patreon. I'm coming. Just going to put this in Patreon so I can just get one thing done. I'm coming. Okay. Hi.
Are we on still live or we off?
We're still live right now. Yeah, I'm just making co-hosts, and then I will let some more people in, make some more co-hosts.
It was a really good option, Meg.
It was.
Kia
Yeah.
ora.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Robbie.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, Robbie Bob.
I like saying your name.
Be-
I love that. That's a great name.
Try saying it 5 times backwards.
Bobbity, bobbity, ro, bobbity,
Backwards.
Did I say it right? Bobbity, ro, bobbity, ro, bobbity, ro, bobbity, ro. Oh, it's alive. Oh my goodness, alive. We are alive.
All right, everybody, we're going to go into the members Patreon stuff. If you want to join us, you can join the membership, you can join the Patreon, or yeah, that's what you can do to join us.
Everybody
And
says co-host but me.
I did put you, didn't I? Oh, sorry.
Sharon, you're
I did. I thought I
Please watch
did.
me.
I got to get Deborah
Everybody's
too.
crying now.
Don't cry.
Just because of our all night long. It's really bad.
Oh, no,
Okay.
don't say that, Sharon. You take it back.
We love Sharon.
We love you, Sharon.
I
Okay.
know, but I got sad.
Don't get sad. Okay, everybody. So we'll see you. Hopefully you'll join us. If not, we'll see you tomorrow. But thank you for watching, and have a good night. Be safe. Prayers for all that need, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Good
God
night,
bless.
everyone.
Love you
Good
guys.
night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Let me see.
Kitty